Hi, so what I have here is the Suncast 22-gallon deck box here, and what I want to show is actually how sturdy the deck box is. So I'm going to show you each individual panel and how it's reinforced, but also I want to show you some of the gaps after I build this deck box, just to give you an idea of whether, just how weatherproof it is and whether it'll actually leak water. So let me go ahead and give you a zoomed in view of these panels here. So the entire deck box here is 22 3/4 inch high, and the width itself is 17.5 inches wide and 22.5 inches deep. So let me go ahead. This is one of the side panels, and the construction is toolless, so it is all snap-in construction. So let me show you a little bit of the instruction manual here, where they do label each of the panels A through F, and it's a one-page basically instruction sheet here where you are just snapping everything in. So let me just go ahead and once again zoom in on each one of these individual pieces. So as far as the side of this, this is snap in, so you could see some of the holes for the snap in adjustments, and it is fairly sturdy in terms of just solid plastic but yet flexible. And I am in New England, so I am fairly curious as to how it will hold up in the New England weather. But this thing does have that 5-year warranty there, as you could see. And just to show you once again some of the measurements here, so you could get a better idea. But then again, it is really about the inner space, or the space where you could actually store things in. So let me set this aside. This is a similar side panel here, and this is the front panel. This particular one is the bottom panel. So the reason why I'm showing you this is, once again, just to give you an idea of just how sturdy it is. So this is the bottom panel here with a lot of the snap-ins. As you can see, that's the bottom. And let me set this aside here. This here is the back panel, labeled as A, and it does have, basically these hinges here, and once again, it is a deep plastic. So just to give you once again an idea of the sturdiness, as once you have it in the elements, you're not going to take it out, or preferably it will exist basically, all in the exterior. So you see, those snap-in tabs, and this is the front panel. And this here finally is the top panel. And I did read that it does hold, basically 200 pounds as far as a person sitting on this. And I could see that just based on, how thick and reinforced the paneling is as far as with the plastics. So this is really the top panel. So the plastic isn't really flimsy, I wouldn't say. It is fairly tough plastic, yet it has, some sort of flexibility to it also. So it's not as rigid in the sense that it's gonna crack or anything, extreme cold or extreme heat. Now, I do plan on, after putting this together, sealing it with silicone, just to make it a little bit more waterproof if I see any gaps in the middle. But let me go ahead and build it and give you a sense of how it actually looks built. So it took me a mere 5 minutes, or maybe even just a minute, just to snap these in. So you can see right here, there's a snap-in hole. And so this is the bottom panel. This here is the front panel. And now really all I have to do is snap in the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me see if I could do this via the camera. And merely just, snapping these in. Here, that's snapping. And that's snapping in like that. Just giving you a good quick view of the inside here. While there's lighting at this opening. So I might just put some silicone around this. I don't see necessarily any gaps. So maybe it's not all that necessary, but since a tube of silicone is only about $2, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now I did use a measuring tape to measure the actual width of the inner, well, not inner diameter, but the inner space. So from edge to edge here, the width is 19 inches. And the height, where there's actually space to store stuff, is 15.5 inches. And this particular width here is 14 inches. So it's 14 inches deep, and it's 19 inches wide, and it is 15.5 inches tall. And that does not include this, extra 1/4 inch here where you could, expand and put stuff in. This is really from, just edge to edge is what I was measuring. So just keep that in mind as far as, just how much you could actually store in it. Let me put on the cover and I'll show you the finished product. So I got this all nicely assembled in less than 5 minutes. And one thing I want to comment on here is, this locking mechanism is pretty decent. So, you could hear that click and it locks in place pretty well. Now this thing looks like it will be weatherproof and waterproof, but one thing it won't be is bug proof. And the reason for that is if you look, there's actually gaps here. So you could see that there's an ear hole here. And this is from the hinge. So bugs can definitely go in from the hinge here. But also, just the way this is reinforced and how this is flat here, there is no prevention from bugs to actually crawl in through these crevices unless you put something soft here like a fairly soft seal. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, this thing looks pretty good. The other thing I also wanted to mention is putting it basically against a wall. Now that will prevent you from opening it. So as you can see, it needs some clearance. So for it to open up like this, you could see that the proper clearance that it needs here in this area is a good 4 to 5 inches. So just keep that in mind if you're putting it up against a wall, that it will have that sort of limitation. But overall, I really like it. It looks like it's gonna, put a lot of stuff, like a lot of the gardening tools or mini gardening tools on the deck. So this is gonna be used in a small little miniature deck. And I'll give you some photos of that after this, where I will have, you know, soil and maybe some citronella candles in here, you know, stuff like that, which I think is good, you know, regardless of whether bugs will get in it or not. But that's really what I want to show, and I hope this helps. And please subscribe, and thank you for watching.